So welcome back. This is the time we're going to talk about gameplay. So I have with me Stefan and Ben. Welcome, guys. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, yeah, we're doing super.
So let's talk about MEDJAY. Ben, in 3 words, describe MEDJAY.
Duality, specialized, and I'm going to add imposing.
Okay, yeah.
We'll get to why in the coming segment.
Pretty
for
soon.
Sure. Yep.
Awesome. So Stefan, tell us more about the gameplay fight style of this hero.
Absolutely. So as we said before, an Outlander to us is really a unique culture, in this case Egyptian, which is cool. We just talked all about that. And the second is unique gameplay opportunities. As we said, Pirates has the Feats in chain, and here the MEDJAY has Transform, the ability to have 2 separate modes while in locked combat at all times. So unlike Highlander, where you get smacked and you're knocked out of your second mode all the time, this character gets to live in that mode as much as they want. So you have 2 completely kind of separate kits in the same kit.
It's like 2 in 1.
Exactly.
Basically. Wow. So Ben, I feel like we should just dive into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So this is the fun part. Let's go with the chains first, right?
Sure.
Start with the basics. The chain, if you're familiar with Shaolin, it's exactly the same. So you're going into light, heavy, heavy, light, heavy, light. As long as you're alternating, you're going to get the chain going as long as you have stamina. Your chain lights are enhanced, so you can keep going all the time. And if you press light twice, for example, you're going to get into your finisher light.
Sure.
If you get heavy twice, you're going to go into your finisher heavy, and that's the end of your chain. So that's out of the way. As you can see...
Sorry, can you throw a few more lights and heavies just so we can get all the damage values for those recording along at home?
Yes.
There you go. There you go, recorded. Yeah, as you can see, everything is uninterruptible stance as soon as you get into the chain. The fact that he has this gigantic staff and holding it like really on the end means that he has really imposing arcs. And basically, this is kind of telling you that this is a hero that's going to be comfortable in group fights when he's in staff mode. Let's get through the rest of the kit real quick.
Sure.
So you have side dodge heavies, classic, dodge those pesky Blackbriar bashes and shoulder bashes. Dodge forward heavy, which, if I can show it off here, does what it should do, which is close the gap, prevent someone from rolling out, initiate combat, etc. We have the zone, which, as you can see, has very short forward range, but that's on purpose because usually you want to kind of target the guy in front of you and hit the guy that's behind you. If it would go forward a lot, you would miss those external hits. So that would feel a lot worse than have a zone that is like moving a lot forward. Next, we have the big payoff bind move, which is the dodge forward guard break. There you go. Kind of like a demon embrace. It deals immediate damage and it chains into your chain lights, your chain heavies, all that good stuff. And you can even perform it after any light in chain. So you can target swap and hit someone in a group fight surprise. And you'll understand like why we're doing this a bit later when we get into the access mode. You'll see.
Yes.
I think that covers... Oh, yeah, I guess we got the guard break. Guard break punish, kind of not the usual one. So you'll have a top guard break punish for this hero. Remember, if you're playing Warlord, you know that you have to go top to get that guaranteed heavy. With MEDJAY, don't do side or you'll get this. Not a fun time. Otherwise, I think we're ready to go.
I think so. Let's just kind of sum up this form a little bit. So if you're in staff mode, you've got big trajectories, you've got uninterruptible stance, and you've got a really good gank melee move that lets you do direct damage and so on. So it's kind of speaking to you as like, if you're in a group fight, this is your group fight mode.
And
that
the
you want to
lane
be
as well, I guess. It's good for clearing.
It's very good for clearing the lane, in my humble opinion at least.
Oh, no. Everyone's opinion, I think.
Okay, perfect. So that's basically, we've seen one mode. This is what you want to use it for. So now the question is, what's the second mode?
All right. So, I mean, we're going to talk about the mode switch a bit, I guess. So walk back and guard break is your mode switch special move. So you're going to take some time to switch between modes. You are a bit vulnerable while you're doing this, so you don't want to be caught with your pants down. wanting to switch in the middle of a fight. But we have ways to speed that up. So, for example, you want to be in access mode coming into a fight. Yeah, this is a duel. I'm like, I don't want to be in staff mode. Boom, you can enter lock, back and guard break, and it's going to be a quick transform, we call. Same thing for every recovery that the character has can be cancelled with this quick transform, so you can be in the mode that you want as fast as possible. And we even have it on a parry cancel. So if, Steph, you want to throw a heavy, there you go. You can switch stance and still get your guaranteed damage that you would have had from like the heavy or light parry.
So not only like you can just switch the mode like that, but you can really like do like a follow-up, like attack, axe, quick stand. Like,
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool
like
that
it's a really cool flow when
pretty
it gets
versatile.
going for sure. It's super cool to see. I love what we did here.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it on parry, especially because that's a time a lot of times where you're like, oh, I thought it was a duel, but now it's a group fight. So I got to parry off at some point, and I can transform into the mode I want, or vice versa.
Yeah. And while you're in Axe, Ben, remember when we did like a hit reaction in Axe? That was a big challenge that we had because it was always going back into a staff. And thank you to Tariq and the GPP team to helping us creating like magic, programmer magic to make it happen. So I don't know if you can show like when you get it into Axe. So
Do it.
there you
Let's
go.
So yeah, I mean, this hero has been a long time coming. Like
That was a
we
big
had
challenge, yeah.
a lot of work to do before we even started working on him. So it's a great achievement, and it's super cool that we get
Yeah,
to show it up today.
can we see some execution as well?
I mean, we're gonna get through the access mode stuff
Oh,
first.
okay, yes. I'm just too excited.
Calm
sorry.
down,
Sorry,
calm
I'm
down.
too excited.
I mean, she's the animator girl, so of course she wants to see the executions.
We'll see it all.
All right, so MEDJAY in access mode, he has move parity. That's what we call it. I don't know if we made that up, but it means that whatever you're pressing in one mode, it's gonna do something in the other mode. So if I go dodge forward heavy in access mode, there's something there. If I do side dodge heavy in access mode, there's something there. If I do zone, obviously there's a zone. If I do the dodge forward guard break, instead of being a big bind move, it's a super quick unreactable bash that this time guarantees a light and, of course, combos into itself infinitely for as long as I have stamina. And you have the heavy finishers that, instead of having unreachable stance, have some good old unblockable property to really force a reaction out of your opponent.
So what you're saying there with the input parity is basically like we taught you all the moves that you have in staff mode. So using the same inputs that you've seen there, you can do the same character kind of flow in the axe mode, and you get moves basically. So yeah, they have different properties and different use cases, but basically,
yeah, there you go. So like there is literally two move sets, but since once you know what to press in one, you'll know what to press in the other one, and then it's just a matter of having like properties, for example, 400 ms chain lights and the unblockable heavy finishers. So I think that gets us to the executions, right?
Yes.
okay.
Oh. All right, no more invincible. Let's see him real quick. I got this guy. So
We had so much fun in mocap, like doing the stuff like detach, attach, detach, attach during the execution. I love it.
And if you are in access mode, you will be reverting to staff mode if you start an execution, if you go into the execution timer, and if you go out of lock. Same thing here. So yeah, that's a good thing to know. But that's why we have the shortcuts to go into access mode whenever you want.
So what would be the logical transition if you play a hero, like in terms of fight kit or play style, like to play the MEDJAY? Which hero would be like good?
I think it depends what you're used to. Basically, like if you. Yeah, this one is.
Just have to get it out of my system. All right.
If you're used to big trajectory characters, your JJs, your Griffins, then you will, I think, quite naturally learn the group fight aspect of this, the staff mode side of this. And if you're used to some of the characters that can kind of nuke you down quickly if things go their way, the assassins or berserker, let's say, you'll quite quickly learn how to do the flow for axe mode, basically.
Exactly. So should we get into the feats next?
Yes, we should do that.
Yeah, right?
Let's do that.
All right.
I hope this theory of two modes extends all the way to the feats.
It does. That's why I said duality earlier. So I'm super happy that we managed to do this. It was a hurdle, but we managed to do a hero where each of the feats has two different uses.
That's
So
crazy.
basically the hero has kind of like 8 feats. Let's roll the videos. So on the first feat, we have the Sunshine Strength. When you get a kill in staff mode, for the duration of your life, you will now have a defense buff for as long as you live. So as soon as you die, you're going to lose it, but you're in Axis mode, you're in staff mode. As soon as you get that buff, you're going to keep it. And next, we have the opposite effect in Axis mode. If you get a kill and you have that feat activated, you will now get a passive attack buff for the duration of your life. And the fun part, the quest, as we call it, is that once you get both buffs, you can get both buffs at once. And so you are a passively buffed defense and attack hero for the rest of your life. And that's even scarier, knowing what the hero can do.
Exactly. So you get to keep each of these pieces. So kind of your goal, as you say, your quest in each life is try to get a kill in one mode, and then you get to keep the defensive buff, the little green thing you see on the shoulders, forever until you die. And then ideally, if you get it in the other mode, then you get the attack one as well. You see your hands glowing and your shoulders glowing, and you'll be like, I'm buffed all the time.
There you go. All right, moving on to the second feat, the Moonlight Drain, which, as its name implies, is a debuff. So if you hit your melee bind attack with the staff mode, you'll see a debuff on your opponent. That debuffs its defense. So this is your big bind move, the big gank move that will hopefully have your allies nearby, ready to do heavies. And if your opponent is debuffed at the same time, he's gonna eat a lot of damage. So fits really well with the game plan. And if we go with the staff equivalent, the Axis equivalent,
yeah.
sorry, you hit your little unreactable buff there. That's going to apply a debuff on the attack of the opponent, giving you an edge in that combat, in that duel, allowing you to tank a bit more damage. And since it's a move that you'll be landing often, you can expect your opponent to be debuffed pretty much the whole fight, I would guess.
I like that both like staff and axe, they kind of like talk to each other in the same, like they're kind of similar but different, depend on the mode. So I feel like it's
Exactly. So
Good job on
we
that.
had an opportunity to have a feat set that reflects that duality for
Yeah.
sure. So the stuff that you get in Axis makes sense for you in Axis, and the stuff you get in Axe as well. So perfect example is the third feat, Scarab Relief, which in staff is a AoE healing around you. You're going to be in a group fight with MEDJAY a lot, so that's what you want to have. And if you are in Axis mode, it's a greedy mode. You're in a 1v1. You want to get healing for yourself. Oh, it's going to be more healing, obviously, than the staff counterpart. But yeah, honestly, it's just a greedy, a greedy aspect.
I love that both like if staff, your whole kit is about being like group fighting, and it's reflected in the feat here especially. This is super good. You can heal your friends, and then vice versa. If you're an axe, your whole mode is about 1v1ing. So if you can heal yourself for a bit more than you could heal a group, this is awesome.
And there you go. And the big payoff reflects that as well. On the feat 4, we have on staff a big projectile AoE that you can throw around and hit people that are bunched up in a group fight for medium damage. And then you have the Axis mode, which, if you've been paying attention, is a single target projectile that deals a crap ton of damage to just one person. And that pretty much covers all of the feats. We are super curious to see how this hero pans out in the competitive scene and the casual scene. Everyone.
yeah. So about that, which composition like of the team will fit the most with like MEDJAY, like having MEDJAY in your team? What will work the best?
I think there's a lot of variety actually to this because of the duality aspect. You can kind of play MEDJAY a little bit differently depending on either your situation or your team's comp or your skill set. Do you need to win the big group fight in mid? Go into staff mode and go try to do that. Do you need to hold this point and win a 1v1 to keep your team together? You can go to axe mode and you can actually get it done.
You have a lot of option.
Exactly. So who are his friends going to turn out to be? It depends how versatile you are, and it depends how I think your team is set, basically.